Twitch can be a roller coaster for your emotions. And whether what you're watching is hammer fisting you in the feels or pushing you closer to the verge of losing your lunch, there's a myriad of tools at our disposal to share exactly how we feel about the content that we're consuming. But out of all the emotions that Twitch users commonly express, humor is perhaps the most pervasive. Because let's face it, the platform is kind of a nuthouse.
I don't think we can use this one anymore.
Someone put their persona pointing a gun at me and said, "Show us what's inside the fridge, Wayne. You want the truth? You want the truth?
Oh,
there is no fridge! I lied!"
Wait, no.
Oh my, what the Give me a hot dog now!
For years, the visage of the late WoW legend TotalBiscuit reigned supreme as Twitch's undisputed face of laughter, specifically in the form of LUL and OmegaLUL. However, since 2019, a challenger has emerged from relative obscurity, cementing itself as the platform's most visceral expression of delight. I'm speaking, of course, about Kekw. So how did the face of a now deceased Spanish late-night TV icon become one of Twitch's most universally spammed emotes? How did it become intertwined with a pre-existing gaming meme in the first place? What's made it such a divisive image among streamers? And what could possibly be so funny to make someone laugh like this? Hey guys, we're really excited to be back and producing this show. It's a passion project for a few of us. So if you enjoy it, please like the video. And if you're not already subscribed, you can do that and ring the notification bell. Cheers. Okay, so if you've spent any time at all watching big Twitch streamers, you've almost certainly seen people spamming the command Kekw in chat. But unless you have Franker Faces or Better Twitch TV installed, you're being denied the chance to see this glorious, snaggletooth man's delightful expression. Kekw can be broken down into two separate parts. The W suffix is typically used for emotes where the entire width of the frame is filled by a person's face, like LOLW. But Kek has an older history. You see, all the way back in the late 90s, Korean StarCraft players on ladder would type Kekw to imitate laughter. But to be honest, it also sorta sounded like a zergling. This later became synonymous with the Zerg Rush strategy, which often used Zerglings and the archaic OMG Zerg Rush KKK meme format as well. Eventually though, the joke made the jump from StarCraft to another Blizzard universe with World of Warcraft. In that game, if a Horde faction player typed LOL in chat, Alliance players would see Kek instead, because Horde players spoke Orcish and Alliance races didn't. Typing LOL still made your character laugh though, so the meaning and association between Kek and laughing was clear and immediate. Now, I don't really need to point out that World of Warcraft was an extremely successful online game with a huge cultural impact. So because so many people were playing WoW, a lot of people were exposed to Kek, and thanks to the game's social focus on PvP or raiding in large groups, it became more widely known as an alternative to LoL. So that explains the origins of the term Kekw itself. But the word is only half the equation. The face that symbiotically attached itself to the word arrived in 2019 as an addition to third-party Twitch extension Franker Faces. But the popularization of the emote is often credited to streamers like Admiral Bulldog.
He's dominating.
All things.
So Jano, you're 0-5-0. Esmeralda, you gotta stop feeding, okay? He's been roaming 0-7-0.
Roaming.
XQC was also an early adopter of Kekw, but eventually he banned it from his chat due to overuse, which didn't sit well with everyone.
Kekw is a good emote. True, it is, and I edit it myself. The reason you guys, XQC, cringe C, doesn't like it is because you guys were the first ones to use it. True. True. And if people aren't the first one doing things, it's not cool.
Admit it, Benson. No, you're not cool.
But what about the face itself? Who is this person and how did he get tied to Kek? Well, that part of our story requires us to go back to 2001. The iconic face millions of us are familiar with belongs to Juan El Risitas Hoya Boria, a local legend in the Spanish city of Seville. After appearing on Jesus Quintero's late-night talk show, Botones Coloros, where he explained his nickname, El Risitas became a fixture on later episodes of the series. But for those who aren't late-night Spanish TV aficionados, most people learned about him when this video was uploaded in 2007. Aptly, El Risitas means the giggles. And there's no question this guy had a serious case of them. In fact, his laugh was famously described as sounding like a lung-troubled dolphin. And honestly, yeah. Anyways, that one-of-a-kind laugh is what brought Boria to the world at large, especially when one of his interviews uploaded in 2007 became a kind of meme format. Similarly to the classic downfall memes, Risitas, with the aid of re-subtitled dialogue, was typically cast as a person with power or money laughing at those without. For gamers, that usually meant developers.
Voy a la playa, ya subió la marea. ¿Y tú?
Thus, in the weird way that internet free association works out, El Risitas' face and Kekw were combined for Twitch. Okay, so an emote that uses the face of a guy nicknamed The Giggles and features Kek, as we just explored, is understandably used for laughter. Laughing is actually pretty complicated and varied when you think about it. It's a social behavior that depends heavily on context.
That is enough.
It's just a little sport, Miranda.
Because laughter is so universal, there are already plenty of other emotes on Twitch that are used for laughing. But if that's the case, what sets Kekw apart from other emotes that offer a similar message? Maybe it's the fact that it's one of the few emotes out there that you can genuinely hear when you look at it. But I also think that what made his wheezing over-the-top laugh such an enduring meme format is that it projects a certain pathos. Like, yeah, he's laughing, but he's laughing so hard that it's almost like he doesn't have a choice.
Voy a la playa, ya subió la marea. ¿Y tú?
And it just fits so perfectly with the kinds of funny stories El Risitas was telling. Ones where he was looking back on some pretty rough workplace struggles.
Si no le ayuda a la fábrica, el camión no está. Ay, tú me dabas mi saco y me caí al suelo. Yo ya cogía los tacos, los arrastraba. Que allí venía el camionero. Todavía está ahí por ahí.
It's this added dimension that really gives Kekw its own unique flavor. And while El Risitas does visibly appear to be laughing, there's almost something desperate and pained in his expression. At the same time, this dude can't even keep it together while trying to predict how the world will end. He's like a modern-day Diogenes.
Se abre la tierra ahí.
Se abre la tierra.
Now, that's not to say that everyone has an appreciation for Kekw. In fact, its biggest criticism is that it's too widespread and is detracting from the use of more nuanced laughing emotes on Twitch. This might be doubly true in the case of communities that deal with controversial or political topics, since oftentimes the news is bad, but laughing is just how some people cope with that.
Her one-woman show continued, taking flash photos, raising her hands and dancing, often the only one clapping or standing up in the crowd.
Hi, son, I love you.
Well, if it isn't Gus the Abuser Johnson in the flesh.
Oh my goodness, not the intro I was expecting.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to lighten the mood.
It's okay, I understand the tone of the stream.
Now, sadly, we're approaching the end of our story. On the 28th of April 2021, El Risitas passed away at the age of 65 after a long battle with diabetes, and his departure sent shockwaves through the gaming community.
So rest in peace. Heaven got a new angel today.
R.I.P. to the GOAT.
Fortunately though, before leaving this mortal coil, he was able to feel the positive impact he had made, specifically on the gaming world, as the 18 to 25 subforum on jeuxvideo.com raised 14,000 euros on his behalf. Part of that was donated to the hospital that had been taking care of him free of charge for months, but another portion of it went towards purchasing him a motorized scooter, a gesture that El Risitas truly appreciated.
Vi cumplido por el regalo. Gracias.
It's clear now that despite El Risitas no longer being with us, his spirit will live on in Kekw. Even 2 years after his passing, the emote continues to be one of Twitch's most used, and that's unlikely to change anytime soon. At the end of the day, Kekw is a tribute to the idea that laughter unites us all. El Risitas wasn't a gamer. He was just a man full of a zest for life, despite the hardships he endured, and yet he ended up becoming a point of connection for so many of us. And long may his glorious face remind us that sometimes in life, all you can do is laugh.
All right, Josh, that's a wrap.
Raps. Actually, raps. Yeah, I'm really hungry, man. Are they gonna order in lunch for us, or, right? That's gonna happen, right?
For us? You think they're gonna order in lunch for us?
Is that it projects a certain pathos. No, Pathfinder's down, get his banner, we need to res him. We need Lifeline, or what's the medic name, Lifeline? Yeah. Visceral expression of mirth. I said mirth.
Where did mirth come from?
Mirth is laughing. It's the holiday season, people say mirth. I'm still getting used to this, okay?